everyone, I am Silver. It is Tuesday, April 16th. I just wanted to say a quick hello to any new viewers and an awesome welcome back must also go out to all returning viewers. If you did tune in last time and decided to come back, I really do appreciate it. You can actually find me on Ravelry as SilverLuna2112. I am at Silver's Treats on Instagram and at Silver's Knitting on Twitter. A word of warning, I just had another round of dental surgeries last Thursday. This essentially means that the bridge that I have to cover the hole in my front teeth hasn't been quite fitting right as the swelling goes down from that. And also you'll hear in the background probably a distinct whine every once in a while. The guys that do our lawns here in the condo complex decided today was a really good day to clean up everything, and they are right now currently right outside my window for a while. I do apologize about that, but if you hear that, that is why. Basically what my front teeth issue means is that my audio may be quite a bit off. I'm sorry, I did not want to delay the recording again until my teeth go down in swelling. I do thank you for understanding, especially as I work through my large transition from bad teeth to good. So that's a little bit about what's been going on. Anyway, how have you all been? Like I said, I mentioned I am pretty good other than the dental surgeries. I do have lots to talk to you about, so I should probably get started, right? So grab your drink of choice, you are knitting or crocheting, and away we go. Today I'm actually going to be drinking a lot of water, I think, just to kind of get out of the drinking the soda habits that I've been having over the past couple of days, because yeah. Either way, let me just take a quick drink and we'll get started. Okay, that was good. Let's move on to my favorite things. Well, MTI and I went up to Luann's Bakery in Ellington with both my mom and my dad. I wanted to introduce them to a little bit of a new area of the state. I just wanted to introduce them to a new place that I've been going to for a few months, and we had so much fun. I'm going to be putting in some pictures now so you can see all the good shenanigans we got up to. Let's see. Oh, I have a spot of enabling. I was a little bit of a bad girl this week, you guys. I'm so sorry, but it is what it is. I ended up getting a shipment from Knit Picks. I did get a bunch of dishy, dishcloth cotton for my stash. I did get 3 balls of the Azure colorway, 3 colorways of the blush colorway, and 3 of the conch colorway, which is a corally orange color, which I fell in love with. I needed to knit right away, so I ordered some. Yep, that's what started that rabbit hole. And also, I did take a trip to my local yarn store this past week. This store is called New England Yarn and Spindle LLC up in Southington. I absolutely love that little store. It's the first time I've been in since they moved from Bristol. So the reason I actually went into the store was to find a sweaters quantity, which I did, and in spades. I ended up getting a total of 8 different skeins of Sweet Georgia Yarns Tough Love sock base in the lemon curd colorway. Got 2 of those and 6 of the slate colorways. 3 of them are different dye lots, so I'll have to mix that in, but that's, you all know how that goes. Let's see. Oh, and I also did get 2 different colorways of the Universal Yarn Uptown DK colorways. This is actually 100% acrylic for baby knits. The first one is called Tea Party, and the second one that I picked up was called Peach Smoothie. I saw this colorway and I absolutely needed to have it. FOs, you guys, I know I promised I probably wouldn't have much in the way of finished objects until the beginning of Stash Dash. Well, I realized over the past couple of days, actually 3 days at this point, that I hadn't actually done a single washcloth this year per my 52 weeks, 52 washcloths goal to getting it down through my yarn stash. I decided this year I am going to break it up by a month. So I've actually created project pages with each month and how many I need to do per month. So all I had to do is just say, hey, yes, I finished this one on this day, and go from there. In that vein, I did finish all of January's 2019 washcloths, a total of 4. I am going to be using Grandma's Dishcloth by PJ Allen this year, without the holes, especially since a lot of the washcloths I'm making, I'm hoping to go with baby knits and things over the years. So we'll go from there. For this month, I did end up using the Dip Picks Dishy in the conch colorway. I have done 2 in that color so far, and I'm working on the next one, so spoiler on that one. And the other 2 for the month, I did use Premier Yarns Cotton Fair in the Circus colorway. I love how those two colors go together, so I'm hoping my recipient does too. For each of my washcloths for this year, I'm going to be using a size US 6, which is the 4.5 marble circulars. It's a 24-inch cable. I'm going to be using those all year long, so I put that in a special project bag for those as well. Although, quite frankly, I think I might leave them in a Ziploc bag that they're in right now. Oh, you guys, I have a hoe, or a half object. I did finish one of my April 2019 DVD socks. Quite frankly, I have done maybe a couple rows since into the cuff of the sock, second sock. Might want to get on that. Anyway, just as a note, I did have another pattern in mind when I first started these socks. However, I got to the end of the ribbing and changed my mind. This pattern, the pattern that I'm working on, actually does call for a 2x2 ribbing. However, I did not want to rip out the 1x1 ribbing I had already done, so I'm just kind of slightly modifying the Vanilla is the New Black pattern by Vanessa Fletcher. I am using a Desert Vista Dye Works Viso base in the Zombie Eeyore colorway. I love the stripy sequence on this one. And I am using actually a size 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter in a 9-inch circular for the entire body up until the toe, entire sock up until the toe. And actually this is being housed in my Molly Klein Designs Beauty and the Beast stained glass bag because it is my favorite. And I think I'm going to be using this on all of my Desert Vista socks. What do you think? All right, let's move on to works in progress. Like I alluded to above, I was going out to my local yarn store for a sweaters quantity. I wanted to make the Hogwarts a History pattern by Regan, because I absolutely fell in love with this colorwork project and I needed it so bad. So I'm calling mine Awful Pride because together both of the Sweet Georgia yarns colorways, the slate and the lemon curd, they kind of look like the crest of Hufflepuff, which I kind of am in the Harry Potter house cup. We'll see if that changes for the new semester, but I'm really crossing my fingers and hoping, you guys. Anyway, I am using a size US 3, which is a 3.25 for the ribbing, and I moved on to a size US 6, which is a 4.0 millimeter for the body of the sweater, and that does include the color work on it as well. Since it is standard color work, I am not very comfortable with doing the two-handed method because my continental knitting stinks, quite frankly. So I do the whole drop each color method, but I do use 2 different fingers on my right hand that I knit from, just to make sure that I keep the 2 colors separated. It actually is a lot easier for me. And I've noticed that with the floats that I'm doing, they definitely pucker less if I pull the stitches out on the needles before I wrap the stitch, but I don't know. I'll have to show you. Here is the back of what I worked on so far. Alright, and the bag that I'm hosting this in is my Doctor Who bag by Whimsy Stitches. It's going to outgrow it pretty quickly, but I don't really care. I want to use this bag. Okay, and since the last time we talked, I have put a lot of work on my first point of autumn shawl. I have actually gotten to the place where I want to stop for Stash Dash, mostly because I want the yardage. I did a fair amount of work. What do you guys think? Just to recap, this shawl was the first point of Libra pattern by Laura Ayler. And I ended up using Gail's Art MYS gradient sets in the Autumn Sonic colorway, which is a lot of browns and a little bit of brown slash purples at the end, which I absolutely loved. And I also used Leading Men Fiber Arts Diva Base in the London Fog colorway. I'm using these two together, and I cannot believe how awesome they came out. I found these both at SSK this past year, saw the two of them together, and needed them. So for this project, I did use a US4, which is a 3.5 millimeter marble circs. Right now, it is actually being housed on a 40-inch cable because it is that large. And I cannot wait to wear it. The next thing that did get a little bit of love since the last time we talked is what I called Nothing is Lost, Sakana Only Changed. I did hit the 50% mark on the shawl, with about 2 pattern rotations after that and the end of the first ball of yarn. I'm planning on using 2 of the Leading Men Fiber Arts showcase base in their Just Peachy colorway that was left over from a sweater. The pattern, as you probably could tell, was the Nothing is Lost, Sakana Only Changed wrap by CC Almond. And as per the directions in the pattern, I am actually using a size US3, which is a 3.25 millimeter needles. This has actually gotten not much love since the last time we talked, mostly because I got to the 50% mark and ran out of yarn and said, okay, I'm good for now. I'll get back to that this week. I have to, for the particular recipient it's going to. And I do have to get to a particular stopping point for Stash Dash as well. So hopefully I can do that this week. The next thing that did get a little bit of love is what I called Granny Stripes and Cozy Dreams. This is the Granny Stripes pattern by Lucy of Attic 24. And as I do, I've been using lots of my Red Heart scraps that I just collected over the years. This is a blanket that I'm making for MDI and my bed blanket, so it is going to be a queen size blanket with a lot hanging over, we hope, by the end of it, and we want to use all the scraps. Well, I want to use all the scraps. He doesn't really care. For this one, I am actually using a size K hook, which is a 6.5 millimeter. Okay, and the last thing that did get I'd say a fair amount of love since the last time we talked is what I'm calling the ITA blanket. This is the Grandma's Dishcloth pattern by PJ Allen that I am just going and going and going until it gets to what amounts to about 42, I'd say about 42 inches wide, and then going back down. I'm still on the increases right now. Since the last time we talked, I am up to 100 and... Sorry, I'm trying to count. 170 stitches across, which is a fair amount. I think it was not very far when we first when you guys first saw it last week, or the last episode rather. I am starting off with the Bernat Baby Sport Solids and Marls in the pale blue colorway, and I'm also going to be adding in a little bit of the green from the sweater that I made to match it, as well as I do have some yellows and I have some pink and a half rainbowy speckled colorway that I'm going to be putting in the middle of it. So I should be switching colors relatively soon. Anyway, I am knitting this on a US7, which is a 4.5 millimeter needle. I'm using my marble circs on that one. The cable, I believe, is my 40-inch cable. Back to the future. I am planning on making some baby socks, a dog sweater, and a bunch more washcloths. I'm actually just waiting to finish a few other things before I go ahead and do that. I think I'm going to try to wait until the beginning of the spring term for Harry Potter House Cup, just so I can get some credit for those. Radio Gaga. So you guys, I have been listening to a fair amount of stuff since the last time we talked. Let's start off with actual albums for a change. I have been listening to the Outlander soundtrack, Season 1A, Bear McCreary's soundtracks. Oh, I love those. I have also been listening to a lot of Fleetwood Mac's Rumors album and Led Zeppelin 1 for our first podcast, MDI and mine. Music for two, if you would like. I'll go ahead and link that in the down description as well as the show notes. And then I've also been listening to B-52's Cosmic Thing, as well as Neil Diamond, Hot August Night 2, just because I can. I'm going to tell you right now, those are not spoilers. I'm just listening to them for my own purposes. Let's see. Oh, and in terms of podcasts, I have been listening to My Favorite Murder, and That's Why We Drink, and Jensen and Holes, also known as the Murder Squad, and then Associates Anonymous, and then Harry Potter and the Sacred Text, as well as the Outlander Cast podcast. Oh, I love those podcasts, you guys. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm getting there. Silver's book pile. You guys, I haven't been finishing as many books, but I've been reading, I promise. I did finish the series by Michelle Lynn, starting with Can't Let Go, then Let Me Go, and then Love Me Always. And then I actually finished a book called Closer by Aria Hawthorne. As to what I am currently reading, I am actually still reading A Breath of Snow and Ashes by Diana Gabaldon. I'm getting closer. I'm about the 50% mark now. I'm also reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, along with the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast. I'm getting there, you guys. And then over the past couple of days, I have been listening to Chase Darkness with Me by Billy Jensen. Oh my goodness, you guys, this book is awesome, and I can't wait to get back to it. If you are a crime junkie like I am, you must listen to that particular book, I'm telling you. The other thing I have been reading slowly over the past couple of days was a book called 6 Months in Montana by Paula M. Keeley. Silver and the Case of the Screen Time. I have been binge watching Supernatural quite a bit. I am now in season 10, I believe, episode 3. I think I was like season 6 when I first started the binge watch again. Anyway, I also did decide this week I wanted to watch a bunch of movies. The first one was A Princess for Christmas, then The Spy Who Dumped Me, a la Sam Heughan Love Fest. And then I watched Final Destination, Final Destination 2, Final Destination 3, and The Final Destination. After that, I needed a little bit of a break from those movies, so I moved on to Mary Poppins Returns, because I've been meaning to watch this one, and yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I have a coupon code I should take care of for the original Mary Poppins. Remind me? Thanks. And then I binged into another series, the Twilight series, that includes Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, and Breaking Dawn Part 2. Because as one does. Let's see. Oh, I have been watching a lot of podcasts as well. I did watch Knit Sense. She had a new episode, so yay. And then Dramatic Knits, Yarn Hoarder, Tea and Possibilities, Knit and Kitten, The Grocery Girls, Stitching the High Notes, The Fiber Circus, The Knit Girls, The Geeky Girls Knit Podcast, Mad Fuzzy, Round the Twist, and then I Rock Knits and Yarn Hoarder actually did an episode together. That was pretty awesome. And then, oh yeah, the Stockinette Zombies had an episode, as well as Knit 3 together. I've been missing all of those last two especially. But yeah, I've also been watching a couple of other videos on YouTube, as one does. There was a couple of behind the scenes things that I saw, and I absolutely needed to watch those. You know, the old VH1 episodes. Yeah, those. They're on YouTube now. But anyway, I watched the one with Cher, and the second one was actually with Pat Benatar. I absolutely love the way they put those two together, and that they're on YouTube. I can't believe it. The more you know. Okay, you guys, since it is not the beginning of the month, I will not go through the entirety of the information on the Great Podcast or Craft Along. If you would like to, I do have a separate video here on my channel. You can go ahead and look at that. Basically, what I want to announce this time is that we did get over 200 entrants, you guys, into our FO thread. Oh my goodness. Keep on going. Keep on going. So what this means is that since we did get over 200, I do have a new prize to announce today. I am actually going to be giving away a pattern by JustADoseOfLove, who is Mallory of the Knit and Kitten podcast. One of her lovely patterns I'm going to be giving away today. I'll go ahead and open up the spread. I didn't do this before. For this prize winner, I am going to be using random.org and our Ravelry group. So we're going to need number 3 through 215. Random number generator says result 194. Who is 194? So the winner of this is post number 194, who is share 2014. So congratulations. Please go ahead and PM me directly with which pattern you would like from Mallory's designs. I will go ahead and I will link that in the show notes as well as the down bar below. So congratulations. I will go ahead and write a little note to myself saying winner of Mallory's patterns. That way I remember. Because I'm bad. So the second thing I want to announce is we do have a physical prize for you of Interpretation 6. I have a second book to give away after the review I put up yesterday on my blog. I will go ahead and I will link that in the show notes as well so that way you can follow it and look. There is a thread on my Ravelry group. All you need to answer the question is, what would you knit first from Interpretation 6, and answer that in the thread. And then next time I record, I will go ahead and I will pick a winner from that thread. So please go ahead and enter. Alrighty, we have come to the end of the road. I am pretty social. You can find me on our Ravelry board, which is Silver's Dreamland Podcast. I am SilverLuna2112 there on Ravelry. On Facebook, Silver's Dreamland can be found at www.facebook.com/SilversDreamland. On Instagram, I am Silver Streets. On Twitter, I am at Silver's Knitting. I do tend to read through all messages as soon as I possibly can. If you actually don't hear from me within 24 hours, please feel free to email me directly at silversdreamland@gmail.com. As always, everything that I talk about can be found directly in the down bar below or at the show notes at www.silversdreamlandpodcast.com. Okay, I have rambled for long enough. I know your time is valuable, so please feel free to join in any discussion, or you can start your own on the Silver's Dreamland Ravelry board. I actually don't bite, I promise. Please stay tuned for episode 68 on the 29th. Until next time, happy crafting! Okay, you guys, fair warning. If the dentist asks you, hey, does something actually fit in your mouth properly, and you're numb, don't say yes. Just don't do it. Don't say yes. Say, I'm freaking numb. I can't tell if it fits right now. I'll get back to you. Word of advice. You would swear I was drunk? No, my coffee just hasn't kicked in yet. I will see you in 2 weeks, you guys. Oh, you guys, and the title. You want to know what the title means? Yes. Jesus H. Roosevelt Christ. Bloody Timmy's in the well. This actually refers to a reference in one of the Outlander books where young Ian actually gets really injured, so his dog Rollo keeps going back and forth between Claire and Ian, saying, "Hey, something's wrong with Ian." Yeah. Anyway, bye y'all.